Hello, and today I'm going to be doing Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. From bad to good. The next morning, I went back to the real estate agent, rejected the deal as it stood, and reopened the negotiation. It wasn't a pleasant process, but I learned a lot. 3 days later, I returned to see Rich Dad. The price of the condo stayed the same, and the agent got his full commission because he deserved it. But while the price remained the same, the terms of the investment are vastly different. By negotiating the interest rate, payment terms, and the amortization period, instead of losing money, I was now certain of making a net profit of $80 per month. Even after the management fee and an allowance for vacancy was factored in, I could even lower my rent and still make money if the market went bad. I could definitely raise the rent if the market got better. I estimated that you were going to lose at least $150 per month, said Rich Dad. Probably more. If you had continued to lose $150 per month based on your salary and expenses, how many of these deals could you afford? Barely one, I replied. Most months, I don't have an extra $150. If I had done the original deal, I would have struggled financially every month, even after the tax breaks. I might even had to take an extra job for this investment. And now, how many of these deals at $80 positive cash flow can you afford? Asked Rich Dad. I smiled and said, as many as I can get my hands on. Rich Dad nodded in approval. Now go out there and get your hands on more of them. A few years later, the real estate prices in Hawaii did skyrocket. But instead of having only one property to go up in value, I had 7 double in value. That is the power of a little financial intelligence. You can't do that. When I took my new offer back to the real estate agent, all he said to me was, you can't do that. What took the longest time was convincing the agent to start thinking about how we could do what I wanted done. In any event, there are many lessons I learned from this one investment, and one of those lessons was to realize that when someone says to you, you can't do that, they may have one finger pointing forward at you, but 3 fingers are pointing backward at them. Rich Dad taught me that you can't do that doesn't necessarily mean you can't. It often means they can't. A classic example took place many years ago when people told the Wright brothers, you can't do that. Thank goodness, the Wright brothers didn't listen. 1.4 trillion looking for a home. Every day, trillions of dollars are moved around the planet electronically. There's more money being created and available today than ever before. The problem is that money is invisible. Today, the bulk of it is electronic. So when most people look for money with their eyes, they fail to see anything. Most people struggle to live paycheck to paycheck. And yet 1.4 trillion flies around the world every day looking for someone who wants it. It's looking for someone who knows how to take care of it, nurture it, and grow it. If you know how to take care of money, money will flock to you and will be thrown at you. People will beg you to take it. But if you don't know how to care for money, money will stay away from you. Remember Rich Dad's definition of financial intelligence. It's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. The blind leading the blind. The average person has 95% eyes and only 5% mind when they invest, said Rich Dad. If you want to become a professional in the BNI quadrants, you need to train your eyes to be only 5% and train your mind to see the other 95%, Rich Dad went on to explain that people who train their minds to see money have tremendous power over people who don't. He was adamant about whom I took financial advice from. The reason most people struggle financially is because they take advice from people who are also mentally blind to money. It's the classic tale of the blind leading the blind. If you want money to come to you, you must know how to take care of it. If money isn't in your head, isn't first in your head, it won't stick to your hands. If it doesn't stick to your hands, then money and people with money will stay away from you. Train your brain to see money. So what is the first step in training your brain to see money? The answer is easy. It's financial literacy. It begins with the ability to understand the words and the number systems of capitalism. If you don't understand the words or the numbers, you might as well be speaking a foreign language. And in many cases, each quadrant represents a foreign language. If you look at Cashflow Quadrant, each quadrant is like a different country. They don't use all the same words, and if you don't understand the words, you won't understand the numbers. For example, if a medical doctor says your systolic is 120 and your diastolic is 80, is that good or bad? Is that all you need to know for your health? The answer is obviously no, but it's a start. It's like asking, my stock's PE is 12, and my apartment's cap rate is 12. Is this all I need to know for my wealth? Again, the answer is no, but it is a start. At least we're beginning to speak the same words and use the same numbers. And that is the beginning of financial literacy, which is the basis of financial intelligence. It starts with knowing the words and numbers. The doctor is speaking from the S quadrant, and the investor is speaking with the words and numbers of the I quadrant. They might as well be speaking different languages. I disagree when someone says to me, it takes money to make money. In my opinion, the ability to make money with money begins with understanding the words and the numbers. As my rich dad always said, if money is not first in your head, it won't stick to your hands. Okay, I hope you liked that. If you did, please like and subscribe. Okay, bye!